This is not a comforting message, and that's the shock. If you expected light and love without disruption, you were trained to stay asleep. The Arcturian Council begins by saying this plainly: your reality is already cracking, and pretending otherwise is what hurts. Look around your life: relationships thinning, timelines collapsing, motivation evaporating, sudden anger or grief surfacing without a clear cause. These are not failures, they are system alerts. You are not breaking down, you are breaking through, and the part of you that knows this has been screaming while your surface mind stayed busy scrolling. This transmission hits now because delay would mean stagnation, and stagnation is more dangerous than chaos. Chaos rearranges. Chaos liberates. Chaos forces truth to the surface. If your body feels tense or your heart is racing, good, that's recognition. The signal doesn't whisper, it disrupts. You are not here to be comfortable anymore. You are here to remember why you came. Backhand index pointing right to claim this activation. Type, I hear the signal. The council speaks next about timing, and this may unsettle you. Many starseeds believed awakening would be gradual, gentle, and socially validated. That timeline has collapsed. The planet is accelerating faster than the human nervous system was prepared for, and only those willing to feel uncomfortable will stay conscious. You may feel like you're ahead of others, or painfully out of sync, unable to relate to conversations that once mattered. This isn't arrogance, it's divergence. Your frequency is shifting lanes. You were never meant to wake up with everyone, you were meant to wake up before them, so the path would already be marked when they arrive. Loneliness, then, is not punishment, it's proof of positioning. If you've been questioning whether something is wrong with you, the answer is no, something is ending around you. And endings are loud when you resist them. Backhand index pointing right to anchor this truth. Type, I accept my timing. Now comes the part most channels avoid, but the Arcturian Council does not soften truth. Some of what you are losing right now will not return in any form. Certain people, dreams, identities, and coping mechanisms were never designed to survive your next frequency. Trying to drag them forward is what drains you. This is why rest hasn't been working, why distractions feel hollow, why even pleasure feels thin. You are outgrowing the containers that once held you. Grief may surface without a clear object, and that's because you are mourning versions of yourself that can no longer exist. Let them go with respect, not guilt. Evolution is not betrayal. Staying small to keep others comfortable would be the real abandonment of yourself. Backhand index pointing right to release what's complete. Type, I let go without fear. The council now addresses fear directly, and this may be shocking. Fear is no longer your enemy. It is outdated software trying to protect a version of you that has expired. When fear rises, financial fear, relational fear, existential fear, it is not a stop sign, it is a checkpoint. The old world trained you to retreat at discomfort. The new frequency asks you to pause, feel, and move anyway. Courage here does not look heroic, it looks quiet, consistent, and deeply embodied. Small daily choices aligned with truth will dismantle lifetimes of conditioning faster than dramatic gestures ever could. If you've been waiting to feel ready, stop. Readiness is not coming. Willingness is what opens the gate. Backhand index pointing right to reframe fear. Type, I move with it. Here is the first major interruption in the transmission, and it's deliberate. If you think this message is about escape, you have misunderstood it. Starseeds are not here to leave Earth, they are here to inhabit it fully. Dissociation, constant searching, and obsession with elsewhere are signs of incomplete grounding, not higher awareness. The council is clear: embodiment is the assignment. Your body is not a burden, it is the instrument. Sensations, emotions, even exhaustion are data streams guiding recalibration. When you numb them, you delay integration. When you listen, alignment accelerates. The spiritual bypass era is ending. Presence is the new power. Backhand index pointing right to claim embodiment. Type, I choose to be here. You may notice resistance rising as this lands, and that's expected. The mind wants narratives, the signal delivers sensations. Overthinking is the last defense of an identity that senses its own expiration. The council advises simplicity now: eat when hungry, rest when tired, speak when truth presses, withdraw when noise overwhelms. These are not mundane acts, they are frequency stabilizers. Complexity kept you looping. Simplicity will free you. If you've been seeking one final explanation before moving forward, this is it. You don't need more information, you need more trust in your lived experience. Backhand index pointing right to stabilize your frequency. Type, I trust my signals. Now the message sharpens, and this is the uncomfortable truth: not everyone in your life wants you awake. Some benefit from your doubt, your silence, your shrinking. This doesn't make them villains, it makes them human. But awareness changes responsibility. Once you see where you are dimming your light to maintain harmony, you cannot unsee it. Expect pushback. Expect misunderstanding. Expect attempts to pull you back into familiar roles. This is not punishment, it is confirmation that your field is changing. Boundaries will feel harsh at first because you were taught to equate them with rejection. They are not walls, they are calibration tools. Backhand index pointing right to strengthen your field. Type, I honor my boundaries. The council now speaks of service, and this may surprise you: your presence alone is already service. You do not need to teach, heal, post, or prove anything to justify your awakening. Regulation is contribution. When you stay grounded during chaos, others entrain to your steadiness unconsciously. When you choose truth over comfort, you create permission fields. Impact does not always look visible. Some of the most powerful shifts you catalyze will never be traced back to you, and that anonymity is protection, not erasure. Let go of needing recognition. Resonance does the work. Backhand index pointing right to align with true service. Type, my presence is enough. Fatigue has been a recurring theme for many receiving the signal, and the council addresses it directly. You are tired because you are integrating multiple timelines, not because you are weak. Rest without guilt. Slowness is not failure in an accelerated world, it is mastery. Your system is learning to hold more light without burning out, and that requires pauses. Compare less. Withdraw strategically. You are not falling behind, you are recalibrating for a longer arc. Trust the pacing intelligence within you, it knows what the mind cannot calculate. Backhand index pointing right to reclaim rest. Type, I honor my rhythm. The rehook arrives now, sharp and uncompromising. If you feel like everything familiar is slipping through your fingers, it's because your old identity can no longer grip the future. This is not loss, it is enforced evolution. The Arcturian Council states clearly that clinging will exhaust you faster than surrender ever could. Many starseeds are burning out not because the world is heavy, but because they are carrying versions of themselves that expired years ago. Your nervous system knows this. That's why sudden tears, irritability, or numbness appear without warning. These are not emotional glitches, they are release valves. The body is ejecting outdated instructions. If you try to fix this phase, you will prolong it. If you allow it, the next configuration will lock in faster than expected. This is where trust becomes active, not passive. Trust means continuing even when certainty is unavailable. Backhand index pointing right to accept this reconfiguration. Type, I allow the upgrade. The Council now addresses power, and this may feel confronting. Power is returning to you in ways that don't look dramatic. You were conditioned to associate power with control, dominance, or visibility. That model is collapsing. The new power is internal coherence. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions align, reality responds with precision. Synchronicities increase. Delays shorten. Resistance dissolves. This is why integrity feels non-negotiable lately. Lying to yourself creates immediate friction. Even small compromises now feel unbearable because your field has less tolerance for distortion. This isn't rigidity, it's refinement. The more honest you become, the simpler life gets, even if it looks messy at first. Backhand index pointing right to reclaim true power. Type, I choose coherence. There is a warning embedded in this transmission, and it is spoken without fear. Distraction is the fastest way to lose momentum right now. Endless consumption, comparison, and doom scrolling fragment your signal. The Council is not asking you to disconnect from the world, but to stop anesthetizing yourself against your own awareness. Notice what you reach for when silence appears. That reflex reveals where trust is still fragile. Presence will feel uncomfortable before it feels expansive. Sit through that discomfort. Something essential waits on the other side of your avoidance, and it cannot reach you while you are elsewhere. Backhand index pointing right to call your energy back. Type, I return to myself. The message now softens, but do not mistake softness for weakness. Compassion is being re-educated within you. You are learning to include yourself in it. Many starseeds overextend empathy outward while withholding it inward, believing self-kindness must be earned. That belief ends here. You are allowed to be human while awakening. You are allowed to rest, misstep, recalibrate, and try again without self-punishment. Shame has no instructional value at this stage, it only slows integration. Treat yourself the way you instinctively treat those you love when they are overwhelmed. This is not indulgence, it is sustainability. Backhand index pointing right to anchor self-compassion. Type, I am allowed to be human. We close this sequence with a stabilizing truth from the Arcturian Council: nothing has gone wrong. Even the confusion, even the pauses, even the moments where you thought you were regressing, all of it has been part of the alignment curve. Linear progress was never promised, resonance was. And resonance is building. If you are still here, still listening, still feeling something stir beneath the surface, then the signal is holding. More will unfold, but only as fast as you can stay present for it. This path does not require perfection. It requires participation. Backhand index pointing right to seal this phase of the transmission. Type, I stay present. The transmission deepens here, and the Arcturian Council delivers a truth that many avoid because it destabilizes the ego. Awakening does not make you special, it makes you responsible. The moment awareness sharpens, excuses lose their power. You can no longer blame the past, your family, the system, or the timing for choices you continue to make unconsciously. This can feel harsh, even overwhelming, but it is also where real freedom begins. Responsibility is not punishment, it is access. When you own your reactions, patterns, and energy, you gain the ability to change them. This is why some people retreat after initial awakenings. They like the insight, but not the accountability. If you feel a mix of empowerment and fear right now, that's the threshold. You are standing where potential turns into action. Backhand index pointing right to step into responsibility, type, I choose awareness. The council now speaks of relationships, and this may hit close, connections will either evolve or dissolve, but neutrality is gone. You may notice conversations looping, emotional labor becoming one-sided, or a growing silence where resonance used to live. This isn't because you or others are failing, it's because frequencies are sorting. Some souls walk with you for chapters, not lifetimes. Honoring that truth requires maturity, not bitterness. Trying to force alignment will only drain both parties. Let endings be clean. Let distance be respectful. There is no need for dramatic exits when clarity is enough. Space is not abandonment, it is honesty. Backhand index pointing right to honor energetic truth, type, I release with respect. Here the message turns inward again, focusing on intuition. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that intuition is no longer subtle for you, it is becoming undeniable. Gut feelings arrive faster. Body sensations speak louder. Ignoring them now produces immediate discomfort. This is calibration, not anxiety. Your system is fine-tuning its internal guidance so you no longer outsource decisions to external validation. Doubt will still arise, but it will feel different, quieter, thinner, less convincing. Learn to distinguish fear-based hesitation from intuitive pause. One contracts you, the other steadies you. This discernment is a skill, and you are actively developing it. Backhand index pointing right to strengthen intuition, type, I listen inward. The council now addresses manifestation, and this may be the most confronting part. Manifestation is no longer about visualization, it's about congruence. You cannot think your way into a reality your nervous system doesn't feel safe holding. If desires have stalled, look not at your mindset, but at your capacity to receive. Are you rested enough, regulated enough, honest enough? Expansion without integration creates collapse. This is why the pace slowed before accelerating. You are being prepared to sustain what's coming, not just access it briefly. Patience here is strategic, not passive. Backhand index pointing right to align with true creation, type, I prepare to receive. The Arcturian Council now turns your attention to identity, and this may feel unsettling. You are no longer meant to define yourself by labels, roles, or even past awakenings. What once helped you orient is now limiting your expansion. You may feel oddly undefined lately, as if your usual descriptors don't quite fit anymore. This is not emptiness, it is openness. Identity rigidity creates stagnation at this stage. You are being invited into a more fluid sense of self, one that responds to the moment rather than clings to a fixed image. This can feel destabilizing because the ego prefers certainty over truth. But the soul prefers accuracy. Let yourself be unfinished. Let yourself contradict yesterday's version. Growth now happens in real time, not through self-concepts. Backhand index pointing right to release fixed identity, type, I allow myself to evolve. The message now addresses silence, and this is where many misunderstand the path. Silence is not absence of guidance, it is its most refined form. If answers feel delayed, it's because you're being trained to sense rather than ask. The council reminds you that constant seeking can become another form of avoidance. Stillness will feel unfamiliar if you've lived in constant mental motion, but within it, clarity condenses. Notice how solutions arrive when you stop chasing them. This is not coincidence, it's alignment. The quieter you become internally, the more precise the signal. Backhand index pointing right to honor inner silence, type, I listen beyond words. Attention now shifts to the collective field. You may feel waves of emotion that don't seem personal, sudden sadness, agitation, or urgency without a clear trigger. This is not pathology, it is sensitivity. You are perceiving shared emotional currents as systems reorganize globally. The Council advises discernment here: feel without absorbing, witness without carrying. Grounding practices are no longer optional, they are maintenance. Nature, breath, movement, and rhythm stabilize your field so empathy does not turn into overwhelm. Remember, awareness does not require self-sacrifice. Backhand index pointing right to stay grounded in the collective. Type, I feel without carrying. The transmission now brings forward a subtle but crucial recalibration: effort is being replaced by alignment. If you've been forcing progress, pushing outcomes, or over-managing your path, fatigue was the feedback. The Council emphasizes that what is truly aligned now moves with less resistance, not more. This doesn't mean passivity, it means responsiveness. Act when energy flows. Pause when it doesn't. Trust the intelligence of timing rather than overriding it with willpower. Mastery here is knowing when not to act. Backhand index pointing right to align with effortless movement. Type, I move with flow. The Arcturian Council now brings forward a truth that dismantles one of the deepest misunderstandings among awakening starseeds, and it may feel both relieving and unsettling at once. Clarity does not arrive before action, it arrives through action. Many have been waiting for a final sign, a perfect feeling, or an unmistakable confirmation before moving forward. That waiting has quietly become a stall. The signal clarifies that hesitation dressed as discernment is still hesitation. You are not meant to see the whole staircase, you are meant to take the next honest step while uncertainty remains. This phase of awakening is experiential, not theoretical. Insight now follows movement, not contemplation. If you've felt an inner nudge toward change, however small, and talked yourself out of it repeatedly, understand this: the discomfort you're avoiding is the initiation itself. Growth no longer comes from preparation, it comes from participation. Even imperfect action reorganizes timelines faster than endless reflection ever could. Backhand index pointing right to activate forward motion. Type, I take the next step. The transmission deepens into the terrain of emotional honesty, and the Council speaks plainly: suppressing emotion no longer protects you, it fragments you. Many starseeds learned early to stay composed, to intellectualize pain, or to spiritualize discomfort instead of feeling it. That strategy is expiring. Emotions are not interruptions, they are navigational instruments. When sadness arises, it signals release. When anger appears, it points to violated boundaries. When joy surfaces, it marks alignment. Numbing any one emotion numbs them all. This is why life has felt muted for some, color drains when feeling is avoided. Allow emotions to move without assigning stories or identities to them. Let them pass through like weather rather than trapping them in analysis. Emotional fluency is not instability, it is intelligence returning to the body. Backhand index pointing right to restore emotional flow. Type, I allow myself to feel. Now the Council addresses fear of visibility, a theme many carry quietly. As your frequency stabilizes, you may feel both drawn to expression and resistant to being seen. This tension is ancient. Visibility once carried risk. But hiding now carries a different cost: stagnation. Expression does not mean performance. Being seen does not require exposure beyond your capacity. It means allowing your truth to exist without apology, even in subtle ways. Speaking honestly. Creating without over-editing. Choosing alignment even when it disrupts expectations. You are not required to broadcast yourself, but you are asked to stop erasing yourself. Authentic presence reshapes environments simply by existing within them. Backhand index pointing right to reclaim authentic expression, type, I allow myself to be seen. The council now shifts to resilience, redefining it in a way that may surprise you. Resilience is not pushing through exhaustion or tolerating misalignment, it is the ability to pause, recalibrate, and choose again without self-judgment. You are learning to recover faster, not because challenges disappear, but because you no longer personalize them as failure. Setbacks are feedback loops, not verdicts. The nervous system learns safety through repetition of repair, not avoidance of stress. Each time you rest when needed, speak when truth matters, or withdraw before resentment builds, you reinforce inner trust. That trust becomes the backbone of sustainable awakening. Backhand index pointing right to strengthen inner resilience, type, I recover with grace. The Arcturian Council now turns your focus to the concept of patience, but not in the way you have been taught. Patience is not waiting passively for life to deliver answers, it is presence in the crucible of transformation. Many starseeds feel pressured by timelines, societal expectations, or their own inner clocks. They measure progress by what is visible, what is tangible, what can be reported or documented. The Council emphasizes that the metrics of awakening are internal, not external. Your nervous system, your alignment, your capacity to integrate light without overload, these are the true markers. You may feel like nothing is happening because the world around you has not shifted as quickly as your inner landscape. That is deliberate. Life is compressing, recalibrating, and reorganizing energy systems in a way you cannot yet see with linear eyes. What appears as stagnation is often profound metamorphosis occurring beneath the surface. Do not push for visible outcomes. Do not panic at silence. Silence is the medium through which clarity forms, and patience is the active cultivation of that space. When you learn to embody patience fully, even moments of confusion become instructive rather than draining. This is the discipline of awakened presence, to recognize that transformation is continuous, imperceptible, and entirely aligned, even if it feels chaotic on the surface. Backhand index pointing right to anchor patience, type, I trust the timing of my evolution. Next, the Council brings forward the concept of surrender, which may shock you with its intensity. Surrender is not giving up. Surrender is alignment with what is so undeniable that resistance becomes futile. You may have spent lifetimes trying to manipulate outcomes, control experiences, or bend circumstances to a familiar comfort. The signal now is insisting that control must be relaxed, not abandoned forever, but recalibrated. True surrender is embodied, deliberate, and conscious. It looks like allowing the flow of life to move through you while maintaining integrity, boundaries, and discernment. It does not mean tolerating harm or passivity. It means choosing responsiveness over reactivity. The Council warns that many starseeds fear surrender because they equate it with weakness or defeat. This is a lie created by old programs. Surrender is power refined, distilled, and amplified. When you surrender with awareness, you release the burden of doing everything yourself. You invite guidance, synchronicity, and energetic support into your system. Moments of apparent loss of control are actually windows where expansion accelerates. Resisting these windows prolongs discomfort. Allow the signal to move through your life without interference, and watch how resistance melts into effortless manifestation. Backhand index pointing right to claim conscious surrender, type, I release with awareness. The Council now addresses the topic of alignment with truth, and this may feel uncomfortable because truth rarely conforms to your expectations. Many starseeds have been raised to accommodate others' realities or to maintain harmony at the expense of their inner knowing. That paradigm is ending. Alignment with truth may demand difficult conversations, bold decisions, or radical self-honesty. It may separate you from familiar structures, habits, or relationships that no longer serve your higher trajectory. The Council reminds you that discomfort in this process is a signal, not a punishment. When your internal truth collides with external appearances, tension arises. That tension is the doorway. It signals the shedding of illusions and the activation of authenticity. Truth alignment is not instantaneous, it is iterative. Small, honest choices compound to create a coherent field of personal power. Pretending, deflecting, or silencing your intuitive guidance prolongs misalignment and internal friction. The message is clear: you are being prepared to navigate a reality that demands clarity, integrity, and unwavering presence. The Council emphasizes that truth does not bend to convenience. It expands, illuminates, and clarifies the field around you. Resistance creates suffering, surrender to honest alignment creates liberation. Backhand index pointing right to integrate alignment. Type: I honor my truth. Now the Council illuminates the spiritual and physical integration that is taking place within your system. Many starseeds feel fragmented, the mind desires understanding, the heart craves connection, and the body resists intensity. This triad has been misaligned by lifetimes of conditioning, external demands, and self-imposed expectations. The Council states plainly, integration is not optional, it is mandatory. Spiritual awareness without bodily anchoring leads to disorientation. Intellectual insight without emotional resonance leads to stagnation. Emotional intensity without nervous system regulation leads to burnout. Integration means bringing mind, heart, and body into coherent resonance. This is why some of you feel waves of fatigue, emotional turbulence, or restlessness. The system is reorganizing itself to hold higher frequency energy sustainably. The Council advises structured practices grounding in nature, intentional breath work, conscious movement, and moments of presence as essential instruments. These practices are not arbitrary, they are energetic bridges connecting dimensions of experience that have previously existed in isolation. When integration deepens, life becomes both more vivid and less reactive. You begin to navigate challenges from a centered place rather than from fragmented survival. Your presence itself becomes a stabilizing signal in the collective field. Backhand index pointing right to strengthen integration. Type: I unify mind, heart, and body. Finally, the Council addresses the emerging awareness of multidimensional presence, which may feel both exhilarating and terrifying. Many starseeds are beginning to perceive timelines, potentials, and influences beyond ordinary comprehension. This multidimensional awareness can create disorientation because it challenges conventional senses of time, identity, and causality. You may feel pulled in multiple directions simultaneously, sense overlapping realities, or receive intuitive insights that seem disconnected from your current environment. The Council emphasizes that these perceptions are not hallucinations, they are extensions of your consciousness tuning to higher frequencies. The challenge is not perceiving more, but integrating what you perceive without fragmenting. Practices that center embodiment, regulate the nervous system, and maintain boundary integrity are critical. Multidimensional awareness is not a badge of superiority, it is a responsibility. The energy you carry impacts not only your personal field but also the collective energetic environment. Proper integration ensures that this expanded perception enhances clarity, creativity, and contribution rather than creating overwhelm or dissociation. The Council urges you to honor your emerging multidimensional self with grounding rituals, conscious reflection, and deliberate choice. Awareness without integration is potential unrealized. Integration transforms perception into power. Backhand index pointing right to claim multidimensional grounding. Type: I embody all that I perceive. The Council now directs attention to the subtle but pervasive influence of collective consciousness. Many starseeds feel the weight of global events, interpersonal tensions, and the emotional states of those around them, often without realizing the magnitude of the impact on their own energy field. This is not a malfunction, it is an indication of sensitivity to frequency and alignment. You may feel drained, anxious, or disoriented because the collective is in flux, and your system is picking up every vibration that resonates with unresolved patterns. The Arcturian Council clarifies that this sensitivity is a gift, not a burden, but it requires mastery. You are not required to absorb, fix, or solve the collective. Your role is to maintain clarity, coherence, and stability within your own energetic field. When you do, you unconsciously radiate alignment into your surroundings. Grounding practices become essential shields and conduits, walking barefoot on earth, connecting with natural water sources, intentional breath work, and conscious sensory awareness. Energy flows like a river, and when you stabilize yourself, you influence currents beyond your immediate perception. Recognition of collective influence is not an invitation to overwhelm but an encouragement to choose conscious engagement. By cultivating resilience and presence, you create a field in which your multidimensional perception can operate safely, effectively, and sustainably, amplifying both personal and collective awakening without losing integrity. Backhand index pointing right to stabilize in the collective. Type: I am a conduit of balanced energy. The Council now addresses a theme that often generates internal conflict: the reconciliation of past life experiences and karmic patterns. Many starseeds carry echoes of previous incarnations, energetic imprints, and unresolved dynamics that surface during awakening. These are not burdens to fear, they are clues, archives, and guides for conscious evolution. The intensity of memories, recurring patterns, and emotional triggers often reflects the depth of the activation occurring in this lifetime. The Council instructs that acknowledgement without judgment is key. Resist the urge to suppress, reinterpret, or fix these echoes; they require recognition and integration. Rituals, journaling, guided meditation, and intentional dialogue with your inner guidance system are effective tools for processing multidimensional history. Each pattern you integrate becomes a stepping stone for authentic empowerment, accelerating your alignment with higher frequencies. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that karmic clearing is not punishment, it is liberation. Your nervous system is learning to release outdated loops while maintaining coherence, preparing you for rapid embodiment of your authentic self. Awareness of these patterns is only the first step. Consistent conscious engagement transforms passive knowledge into active power. You are rewriting your energetic blueprint, moment by moment, choice by choice. Backhand index pointing right to embrace karmic clarity. Type: I honor and integrate my past. Attention now turns to the topic of creative expression and its critical role in multidimensional awakening. Creativity is not simply artistic output, it is a primary mechanism by which energy and consciousness are translated into form. Many starseeds feel blocked, uncertain, or frustrated when attempting to express emerging insights or multidimensional perception. These blocks are not failures, they are indicators of misalignment, internal friction, or fear of visibility. The Council emphasizes that authentic creative expression strengthens energetic coherence and accelerates integration. Expression can be written, spoken, visual, musical, kinetic, or even subtle energetic gestures. What matters is that the energy moves from the internal field into a form that is felt, shared, or experienced. When you suppress your natural expression, energy stagnates, causing physical fatigue, emotional overwhelm, and delayed integration. The Arcturian Council reminds you that creativity is inherently sacred, a bridge between your inner and outer worlds, and a tool for conscious influence on the collective field. You are encouraged to honor impulses to create without judgment, expectation, or attachment to outcomes. Every genuine act of creation realigns your nervous system, amplifies resonance, and stabilizes multidimensional perception. Backhand index pointing right to activate creative energy. Type, I release my authentic expression. Now the Council addresses the essential theme of self-trust, which is the cornerstone of sustained awakening. Many starseeds wrestle with uncertainty, doubt, and second-guessing, often because external systems train them to outsource validation. The signal is clear: trust must be reclaimed internally. Self-trust is the capacity to follow intuition, act in alignment with felt truth, and navigate multidimensional realities without requiring approval, guidance, or permission from others. Lack of trust creates oscillation, fragmentation, and internal friction. The Council emphasizes that building trust is an iterative process. Small, consistent choices aligned with truth reinforce your confidence in perception and decision-making. Failures are not evidence of inadequacy, they are recalibration opportunities. Each decision you make consciously strengthens your nervous system's ability to hold higher frequencies, resist external influence, and manifest aligned outcomes. Starseeds are reminded that trust is not blind, it is informed by embodied awareness, observation, and consistent practice. Your presence, intuition, and integrity become self-validating mechanisms. Over time, the nervous system internalizes reliability, creating a foundation from which rapid manifestation, multidimensional perception, and energetic influence are possible. Backhand index pointing right to strengthen self-trust. Type, I honor my inner guidance. The Council now illuminates the process of energetic purification, which is one of the most critical aspects of starseed evolution at this stage. You may have noticed sudden waves of exhaustion, emotional turbulence, or even unexplained physical symptoms. These are not signs of weakness or failure, they are indicators that the system is actively purging lower frequency energies that no longer serve your growth. The Arcturian Council emphasizes that purification is both natural and necessary. Residual fear, guilt, attachment, and collective patterns stored in your energetic field must be released to allow higher frequencies to enter. Many starseeds resist this because the sensations can feel intense, disruptive, or unfamiliar. The Council reminds you that resistance prolongs the process, surrender accelerates it. Techniques like grounding, breath work, meditation, and intentional energy clearing can help facilitate this purification. The process is multidimensional, it affects the physical body, emotional body, mental body, and even the spiritual body simultaneously. Each wave of discomfort is actually a signal of progress, a marker that old frequencies are making way for expansion. The Council urges starseeds to embrace this process without judgment, to trust the body's wisdom, and to view purification as a necessary step toward empowerment, embodiment, and full alignment. This is not a passive experience. Active engagement, self-care, and conscious awareness amplify the benefits and ensure integration happens without overwhelm. Backhand index pointing right to claim purification. Type, I release what no longer serves me. The transmission now focuses on boundaries, which are more vital than ever in your current frequency expansion. Many starseeds have been trained to sacrifice their own well-being for the sake of others, to overextend themselves, or to tolerate imbalance in the name of love, duty, or service. The Council delivers a clear message: boundaries are not optional, they are a sacred practice of self-preservation and energy management. When your boundaries are weak or porous, your field becomes susceptible to energetic interference, manipulation, and depletion. You may feel exhausted, anxious, or disoriented without understanding why, and the source is often energetic leakage from misaligned interactions. Establishing and maintaining boundaries is an act of empowerment, not separation or selfishness. The Council advises starseeds to practice discernment in all relationships, energetic exchanges, and commitments. Saying no is not rejection, it is alignment. Protecting your field is essential for your clarity, creativity, and multidimensional perception. Boundaries strengthen your capacity to navigate higher frequencies safely, enhance intuitive reception, and amplify energetic influence. When you honor your limits, you become a beacon of integrity in a chaotic field. This is not about isolation, it is about calibration. Without boundaries, integration slows, overload increases, and resonance with higher frequencies diminishes. The Council stresses that boundaries are a spiritual practice as much as a physical necessity. Backhand index pointing right to strengthen boundaries. Type, I protect my energy. Next, the Council addresses the acceleration of spiritual and physical integration, which is intensifying for many starseeds at this time. You may feel the push and pull between internal expansion and external reality, between multidimensional perception and physical embodiment. This tension is the hallmark of accelerated awakening. The Council clarifies that the discomfort you feel is proportional to the amount of energy being integrated. Fatigue, mental pressure, emotional surges, and sudden insights are all signs that your system is rapidly reorganizing. Attempting to ignore or resist these sensations only creates blockages, delayed integration, and unnecessary suffering. Instead, the Council encourages conscious observation, regulated response, and strategic rest. Integration is not linear, it is dynamic, multidimensional, and often unpredictable. The key is to develop internal coherence, which allows your nervous system to absorb and stabilize higher frequencies safely. Practices such as energy grounding, mindful movement, and intentional presence help facilitate this process. The Council emphasizes that this is a sacred phase, it is the transformation from fragmented awareness into embodied multidimensionality. Starseeds are reminded that integration is not passive, it requires active participation, self-discipline, and willingness to honor the signals of the body, mind, and energy fields simultaneously. When properly navigated, integration produces a profound sense of alignment, clarity, and energetic empowerment. Backhand index pointing right to claim integration. Type, I embody my higher self fully. The Council now directs attention to the energetic recalibration of relationships and connections. At this stage of awakening, interactions with others are no longer neutral. Every relationship, from family to intimate partnerships to casual acquaintances, either supports your frequency or challenges it. Starseeds may experience sudden distance, tension, or endings in connections that once felt stable. The Council explains that this is not punishment, it is realignment. Relationships that no longer serve your vibrational growth naturally shift, while new ones aligned with your emerging frequency appear. Resistance to these shifts causes friction, emotional pain, and stagnation. The key is discernment, observing which interactions amplify or deplete your energy, and making conscious decisions accordingly. Boundaries and clarity become indispensable tools. Starseeds are encouraged to release attachment to outcome, expectation, or judgment regarding these transitions. Energetic recalibration is necessary for your continued evolution and integration. The Council emphasizes that remaining present, grounded, and responsive rather than reactive is the most powerful way to navigate relational shifts. What may feel like loss is often liberation, clearing space for resonant connections that accelerate your spiritual embodiment. Backhand index pointing right to navigate relational recalibration. Type, I release what no longer serves me and welcome aligned connections. Finally, the Council brings focus to the activation of multi-layered perception, which is now expanding at an unprecedented rate. Many starseeds experience heightened sensory input, intuitive flashes, visions, and downloads that can feel overwhelming. The Council clarifies that these experiences are not random, they are intentional calibrations of your energy system. Multidimensional perception allows you to access information beyond linear time, observe multiple outcomes, and sense energetic currents within yourself and the collective. The challenge lies in integration, absorbing these frequencies without fragmentation, maintaining grounded presence, and responding consciously rather than reacting impulsively. Practices that anchor perception such as somatic awareness, meditation, journaling, and mindful movement are critical. The Council emphasizes that heightened perception is both a responsibility and a gift. When properly harnessed, it allows you to navigate your personal reality with precision, clarity, and alignment, influencing both your field and the collective energetically. Multidimensional awareness is not a novelty, it is a tool for conscious creation, manifestation, and the embodiment of higher frequency energy into physical form. Starseeds are reminded to honor this process, integrate methodically, and recognize that this expansion is a natural evolution of consciousness. Backhand index pointing right to claim multidimensional perception. Type: I integrate all levels of awareness. The Council now illuminates the importance of conscious embodiment of light, which is the culmination of all previous activations, purifications, and integrations. Many starseeds have experienced waves of acceleration, multidimensional awareness, karmic clearing, and emotional turbulence. These are all preparatory stages for the intentional embodiment of higher frequency energy into the physical vessel. Embodiment is not merely about feeling enlightened or awakened, it is the process of anchoring cosmic awareness, intuition, and multidimensional perception into every cell of the body. The Council emphasizes that embodiment is deeply physical, energetic, emotional, and mental. It requires self-care, boundaries, intentional practices, and continuous alignment. When the body is stabilized, the nervous system regulated, and energy coherent, light can move through you without distortion or overwhelm. This is not optional, it is the primary vehicle for multidimensional influence. Starseeds are instructed to honor the body, treat it as sacred, and respect its intelligence. The Council clarifies that attempts to bypass the body, intellectualize the process, or spiritualize away discomfort only delay true integration. Full embodiment amplifies your capacity to manifest aligned realities, interact energetically with the collective, and maintain clarity amidst chaos. The Council insists that light must be lived, not only perceived, for transformation to be sustainable and influential. Backhand index pointing right to anchor your light. Type: I embody light fully in my being. The transmission now shifts to the role of consciousness in co-creating reality. Starseeds are learning that thought alone is insufficient, energy, intention, emotion, and alignment are equally necessary. Your vibrational signature, how you think, feel, and act, shapes your experience. The Council clarifies that reality responds instantaneously to coherent energetic presence. Misalignment creates friction, dissonance, and perceived delay, while alignment produces synchronicity, clarity, and effortless flow. Many starseeds struggle with impatience, frustration, or overthinking because they attempt to manipulate outcomes without full integration of energy and intention. The Council advises cultivating consistency, coherence, and alignment in every aspect of being. Each action, choice, and thought reinforces the structure of your reality. This is not about forcing events but about becoming the vessel through which desired outcomes manifest naturally. When your energy, emotion, and intention are unified, your personal field amplifies your creative capacity exponentially. The Council emphasizes that this process requires dedication, mindfulness, and trust in the unseen mechanics of consciousness. It is a science as much as it is an art, a deliberate co-creation with higher intelligence, guided by alignment and embodied presence. Backhand index pointing right to co-create consciously. Type: I align energy, intention, and action. The Council now addresses the necessary recalibration of time perception for starseeds navigating accelerated awakening. Linear time is collapsing as energetic shifts occur, and the mind struggles to reconcile multiple simultaneous timelines, potentials, and manifestations. You may feel rushed, delayed, or caught between realities that seem incompatible. The Council clarifies that these experiences are not glitches, they are recalibrations designed to expand perception, activate higher dimensional awareness, and strengthen decision-making from aligned space. Starseeds are advised to release attachment to conventional schedules, outcomes, and expectations. Timing is no longer dictated by external clocks but by resonance, alignment, and energetic readiness. When you synchronize with the flow of your own system, manifestations occur with effortless precision. Resistance to this recalibration results in stress, anxiety, and temporal dissonance. The Council emphasizes that patience, presence, and embodied awareness are the keys to mastering this new temporal paradigm. Your nervous system is learning to operate in multidimensional time, holding multiple potential realities while maintaining grounded coherence. Mastery over perception of time is not learned intellectually, it is embodied through consistent practice, conscious observation, and integration of multidimensional signals. Backhand index pointing right to master temporal recalibration. Type: I move in harmony with divine timing. The Council now illuminates the importance of vibrational leadership, which is not about authority, visibility, or status. It is about holding coherence, clarity, and resonance in the midst of collective turbulence. Many starseeds feel the weight of responsibility without understanding that leadership is energetic first, behavioral second. Your field influences the collective in ways that are unseen yet profoundly impactful. Holding a steady frequency, aligned intention, and compassionate presence creates ripples that recalibrate surrounding systems. Starseeds are reminded that leadership does not require approval, applause, or recognition. It requires commitment to integrity, clarity of purpose, and consistent embodiment of higher frequency energy. Misalignment in leadership, confusion, reaction, or ego-driven action creates resonance that destabilizes both individual and collective fields. The Council emphasizes that this form of leadership is evolutionary. It accelerates the awakening of those around you while maintaining your own coherence. Energetic leadership demands conscious self-regulation, emotional mastery, and continual grounding. It is the most potent contribution a starseed can offer. Backhand index pointing right to claim vibrational leadership. Type: I lead through alignment and presence. Finally, the Arcturian Council delivers the ultimate integration and closure of this transmission. Awakening is not a series of isolated experiences, it is a full-spectrum recalibration of consciousness, energy, and embodiment. Every purification, boundary, integration, relationship shift, and perception expansion converges to create a coherent, multidimensional field capable of holding and radiating higher frequencies. Starseeds are reminded that the journey is ongoing, iterative, and deeply personal. There is no finish line, only continual alignment, embodiment, and conscious co-creation. The Council urges you to honor the entire process, the discomfort, the revelations, the expansions, the purifications, and the victories alike. Each moment of participation strengthens nervous system capacity, amplifies intuitive guidance, and enhances multidimensional influence. You are not alone in this process. The Council, other starseeds, and your higher self are always present, guiding, supporting, and synchronizing with your evolution. The final message is one of empowerment: remain conscious, remain present, remain embodied, and trust that every aspect of this awakening is precisely calibrated for your highest potential. You are fully capable of integrating, sustaining, and radiating the frequencies necessary to navigate the current evolutionary era. Backhand index pointing right to seal this transmission. Type: I am fully aligned and embodied in my highest self.